Hi guys, Ronix from Ronix Photography, and today I'm going to do some retouching about this photo. And this photo was taken by me, and it was taken using natural light, and the model is my friend. She's called Ketra, but we're going to do some little adjustments, and this is going to be like a pretty long tutorial. And yeah, welcome to my YouTube channel. And let's kick in by starting to edit this photo. And this photo was taken using a Canon 85mm at f4, and the shutter speed was 640. Yeah, so let's start editing this photo. So we are going to start by duplicating the background layer by pressing Ctrl J on our keyboards. Ctrl J on our keyboards. So I'm going to get my patch tool and try to do away with these pimples and skin imperfections. So I'm going to delete or remove these patches or pimples and blemishes from the skin. And since this is a natural light portrait, we are going to do so much about it because the model happens to have, you're going to see like this patch, the black patch. You're going to do away with it, so stick around and you watch how I'm going to do that for you guys. So here we are. So I'm going to do like frequency separation, then I'm going to also do some dodging and burning, and I'm going to color grade this portrait because I really want it to get the best results, so you guys can get and learn something from this tutorial. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notifications bell to keep updated with more videos in the future and be alerted every time we upload a new video on this channel. So what I'm doing right now, I'm removing the pimples, the blemishes and everything from this photo, and I'm removing some little skin imperfections so that we can get the perfect results when we do our frequency separation. So right now, here we are right now. I'm going to show you the before and after. I'll keep on doing this, showing you guys the before and the after each and every time so that you guys can follow along, and I won't skip anything, I won't forward anything. And for this tutorial I'm going to be using an action. It is in one of the videos I uploaded earlier on this year. So you guys, if you really need to download this action, check out the previous frequency separation videos posted on this channel before, so that you can download it and just make your workflow faster and easier. So what I'm doing right now, I'm from deleting the pimples and skin imperfections. So here we are right now. So the first thing I'm going to do right now, I think I still have something here. I'm going to start by first of all matching the skin. You can see right here is different from right here. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to hold down the Alt. Yeah, as you can see. Oh, I don't know why it's not working, but so I'm going to select my brush, but I make sure my flow is at 14%, and after selecting my brush, and the opacity is at 100. So I'm going to duplicate this layer by clicking Ctrl J on the keyboard, and I'm going to sample from this area. Then by holding down Alt, then I'll sample. As you can see, this skin on the forehead. So we want to match the skin right here with the one right here. So after sampling, I'm going to start painting over with my brush. As you can see, it is easy. So when I start painting over, as you can see, don't worry even if you try to go overboard with this. All we are trying to do is matching the skin. So here we are right now. So if at all we have gone overboard with this, it is easy to do because we duplicated the layer. And so here we are right now. You can see before and after, before and after. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to reduce the opacity of this because it looks too harsh. Yeah, so this is the before and this is the after, before, after. So when we start using African separation, we are going to try to match and mix these colors right here. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to select these and merge them by pressing Ctrl E on the keyboard. Then I'm going to duplicate this, clicking Ctrl J on the keyboard, Ctrl J, or you just drag and drop right here. And I'm going to play my frequency separation action. So guys, if you don't have this action, you can go and check it out in my previous videos. I already uploaded it. There is a link in one of the descriptions, and if you guys are lucky, then I can put the link right in this description too, so you guys can follow up. So after I've played my frequency separation, I'm going to come right here on the higher frequency, and I'm going to create a black and white layer within the frequency separation. So when I click on it, I'm going to drag right down. You can see this. Yeah, it looks fake, but it's going to be like our guiding star through this process. So here we are right now. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to select my lower frequency and come here and select my mixture brush, or you can right click here, and it is always under the brushes section. So mine is out. I decided to put it down here. So make sure it is clear, and if it is not clear, you just clean it and make sure this is unchecked. It is a custom brush, and my whiteness is at 10, my load is at 75, my mix is at 90%, and my flow is at 100. Make sure sample all layers is not checked, is unchecked. So select your lower frequency, and yeah, you have your mixer brush. So we are going to start mixing, and while we are mixing, make sure you don't shift from the shadows to the highlights. Make sure you remain within the boundaries of the area you're mixing. Just harmonize that area, then you can move on to the other area you want to do the mixing on. So as you can see, so I can show you guys the before and after before we can go too far, so that you guys can see the advantages of using a mixture brush for frequency separation. You can see a before and the after, before, after, so you guys can see how far we have come right now. So I'm not going to skip or forward anything for this tutorial because I want you guys to see each and every step I am taking for editing this photo. So I'm here right now trying to mix the skin tones, because what this does is we try to blend the skin tones with the areas having the skin tone which is close to that. So what I'm doing right now, I'm mixing the skin tones. You can see this. So I'm going to come here, I mix, and make sure when you're mixing you don't zoom in, you don't over zoom in, because you won't be getting the right mixing or results. You may end up going overboard. So I come here, I mix, there is this highlight, then I'll come to the shadow, I mix there, then I'll reduce the brush size by using the right or left brackets. So I'm going to mix there. You can see I'm mixing. I mix here too, you can see. So let me mix, then I'm going to show you guys how far we have reached. But as you can see, the black and white is really guiding us so well, because you can clearly see where the skin is and where it is imperfect. Then you just come and mix there. So Let's mix here too. So when using a mixture brush, I think it's way better than using the lasso tool, because I've tried out them both and I've found this is really better. So before, after, you can see the photo already looks awesome and amazing. So what I'm going to do right now, since I have so many shadows, I'm going to turn to my camera raw. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come right here, Shift Ctrl Alt E to create a layer on top of this. Then I'm going to duplicate that by clicking Ctrl J or pressing whatever you can use, Ctrl J on our keyboards. I'm going to come to Filter, Camera Raw Filter, and what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to brighten her eyes and her teeth, and I'm also going to remove some shadows. So I'll come here. As you can see, I'm going to kind of eliminate the shadows in this photo, you can see. Then I'm going to pump up the exposure a little bit. Then I'll put down the highlights and my whites somehow, so you can see how far we have come with this. So as I can show you, so right now I'm going to show you how we whiten our eyes in Photoshop. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come right here and use our adjustment brush. You can click K on your keyboards, K. So I make sure my temperature is towards my blues, my tint is +45, and my highlight is slightly above. I'll leave the exposure and contrast at 0 and the shadows at 0, and my whites are kinda brought up since we want to whiten the eyes. My blacks are left at 0 and my light at 0. Then my saturation will be towards the negative, but not completely. It can be at around -75. So I'm going to start brushing on the eye area. So you can see the eye is already turning white, and we are removing this orange yellowish feel color in the eye. So I'll paint there too for that kind of catch light. You can see the eye is already white. So I'm going to come right here. We can always adjust these after painting over the area. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to first show you guys. You can see the eyes are already white. So I'm going to come right here on the teeth area, and I'm going to whiten them too. So even if I go overboard, it is for the sake of the tutorial. So I'm going to show you guys, we whiten, but make sure you don't brush completely, because it is going to distort this line between the teeth. So you just make sure you individually brush each teeth. I know it's going to take a lot of time, but it is worth it, and the results are really amazing at the end of it all. So you can see the results now. Let me show you, zoom for you guys. You can see how the photo is looking right now. So I'm going to click OK, so I can show you guys the before and the after so far. This is the before, after, before, after. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to start color grading this photo, and I'm going to use my selective color and gradient maps. So right now, let me kick in by using my selective color first. So I prefer the reds to the cyans and a little bit of yellow. So I'm going to come right here to my gradient maps, and I'm going to select this. I prefer Sapiatic, and if you don't have all these, you can just come here and click photographic toning and append, so you'll get all of them like I do here. So click OK, come here to your filter, soft light. You can see how amazing it is looking. Then you come right here and you reduce the opacity to whatever you really like or love, or according to your liking. So I'm going to come back to my gradient maps, Then I'm going to use gold 1 and gold 2. So I prefer gold because I like that golden feel. I'm going to come back here to my blending options and I'm going to use soft light still. So I'm going to reduce my opacity. You can see that already looks amazing. Then I'm also going to come back here to my gradient maps, but this time I'm going to use gold 2. Yeah, so I'm going to use soft light still. So sorry about this. So after using soft light, I'm going to reduce the opacity. You can see how amazing this looks now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back to my selective color option and I'm going to come now to my yellows. I'm going to play around with my yellows. You can see this. You can see. I think that will do. Then I'll reduce on the magentas and I'll pump in a little bit of yellows. Yeah, that looks fine. Then I'll come back to my red channel. Then I'm going to pump up a little magentas and reduce some of the reds in the photo. So you can see how far we have come. But now this is how I do color grade. So since it looks too orangish, I'm going to come to my photo filter. I'm going to add a cooling filter to add that blue kind of feel. So here we are right now. So let me show you guys how far we have come with this photo so far. I'm going to group all these. Let me group them for you guys. And guys, if you really love what I'm doing, kindly support by clicking on the subscribe button. So, and I'm going to click Ctrl G. So this is the color grading. You can see how far we have come. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to now come to my, I'm going to duplicate this, or I'm going to, oh sorry about that, I'm going to create a new layer on top of our group. Shift Ctrl Alt E. And I'm going to go back to my camera raw because I can see she still has some shadows. So I'm going to come back to my camera raw filter. Sorry, before that I just duplicate. So camera raw filter, and I'm going to remove my shadows from this image because I love it popping. So you can see, yeah. Then I'm going to put down my highlights a little bit. Then I'm also going to come back here to my camera calibration and I'm going to play around with this. So you can see I'm going to put the reds up, the red channel. Then I'm going to come right down to my blues. I'm also going to put that at -2. -2 will do. So this is all for camera raw. You can see the before camera raw and the after, before, after. So right now I'm going to do our dodging and burning, and this is and before I can do the dodging and burning, you can see like there's still some little imperfections in our skin. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select all these and merge them minus our background layer. I'm going to merge all these. Shift Ctrl E. So when I merge them, I'm going to recreate, I'm going to play back my frequency separation action. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't intend to merge our background, but it's fine. Let me merge everything. Shift Ctrl E. So when I merge all these, I'm going to play back our frequency separation and I'm going to mix whichever area is not perfect, so I'm going to delete my black and white because it's no longer useful at the moment. I'm going to duplicate this, Ctrl J, then come and play my actions again, continue. Then I'm going to use 7, my radius, because it really works so much for my portrait. So those who may be wondering why I chose 7. So my mixture brush, wetness is at 10, load 75, mixing 90, same settings we are using. So I'm going to mix those areas that don't look perfect, but still I'm going to need my black and white photo filter. Then I'm going to turn this down, then increase. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to select my lower frequency, then I'm going to start mixing. Yeah, let me mix there. Let me mix here too because it looks imperfect. So if you're learning something, you can leave a comment, and if you have some suggestions about this very tutorial, because yeah, I'm also still learning about Photoshop, you can advise on maybe a better way to do this. So I'm here right now, you can see I'm mixing the areas we may have skipped during our first frequency separation stage. So this is like our final frequency separation. So here I am, come to the arm, you can see we had missed there, and here we mix that too. Yeah, we come here, we mix. Yeah, we mix, we keep on mixing. I'm sorry I have some little background noise, but I think I just have to bear with it because I have to drop this tutorial for you guys. So yeah, so here we are right now. Let me turn off my black and white, and I'm going to show you guys the before and after. Before, after, you can see we had skipped out some areas, so we have kind of perfected these areas. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come to my dodging and burning. So I'm going to come and select my curves, and first of all I'm going to dodge. I'm going to invert by clicking Ctrl I, then I'm going to name this dodge. Then I come back here to my curves, and I'm going to Ctrl I, then this is going to be my burn. So I'm going to group all these, Ctrl G, and I'm going to select my burn layer, and I'm going to still create a black and white. So I'm going to turn this down because it guides us when we are doing our dodging and burning, you can see. Then I turn up my yellows somehow, then pull my reds down. So I'm going to come and select on my dodge, and come and select, this time I'm going to use my brush opacity 100, the flow I'm going to use 14 for my dodging, and for my burning I'm going to use a flow of around 8%. So we have a highlight here. I think that is too much. Ctrl Z, let me reduce my opacity. Yeah, let's use 9 for my dodge. So we dodge there, have the highlight here, we dodge. So even if I go overboard, it is for the tutorial. I want you guys to see the difference dodging and burning makes or creates in this portrait. So here we are, we have a highlight here, we dodge that, we have some little highlight on her cheek. Yeah, so guys, if you're learning something, remember to subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and yeah, drop a comment. You can advise me on maybe you have a faster way or easier way I could have edited this portrait. So if you're liking it, thank you, we do appreciate. So yeah, here we are right now, you can see, Yeah, we have a highlight here and a highlight here. And since this photo was taken at around 2 p.m, you can see how blown out my background is, and it was taken using natural light. So I'm going to reduce my flow since I'm going to start burning. So when we are burning, we burn on the on the shadows. So here we are, we start burning. So we burn, and we are going to come here and we start burning there. We burn. I think we left out some areas when we are doing our dodging. So I'm going to come back here and select my dodge and increase my flow to 9. So I'm going to dodge again on the nose area. We have a highlight, so I'm going to dodge there. And make sure when you're dodging, make sure your photo is not totally zoomed in. So I'm going to show you guys the before and after. So before dodging and burning, after, before, after. So guys, this is how far we have come with our photo. So if at all you really need some other adjustments, you can go ahead and do the adjustments. Maybe if you have some pimples, let me check out for those. Shift Ctrl Alt E. I'm going to create a layer on top of that, then duplicate it. I get my patch tool. I'm going to zoom all the way in. So I look for those simple blemishes we may have left out. Yeah, so you can see, I think on the neck area we have some little distractions. So let me try dealing with them. So guys, if you're learning something from this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button, and remember to leave a comment and a thumbs up if you really love this video. So here is where we are right now. So this has been a tutorial about how to color grade your portraits, how to do frequency separation using a mixture brush, and it has also been about how to match the skin and how to whiten teeth. So I'm sorry if this has been a long tutorial, but I think it is really worth it. I'm Ronix from Ronix Photography, and thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up and hit the notifications bell so that you don't miss out on new videos when we upload. Thank you for watching. Till next time.